we get a lot of questions, hey, what should we do in the winter? How are we going to train? What's the best way should we buy a trainer? Should we buy a compu trainer or whatever? So for most of you know me, but I'm Ross Hart. I own this Hart Cyclery. We've been in business since 1988. When it comes to fitness and training and staying healthy and less injuries, it starts with a good fit. This allows me to move the individual up, down, fore and aft in the saddle, up, down, fore and aft in the handlebar position. And it's a communication between you and myself as far as what feels good and what's comfortable for you. And then it gives me a set of parameters, an X and Y position on your bike that we can then set your bike up. And then you go out and ride and come back and we can tweak it and do all those things. We've got two guest speakers tonight that I'm going to introduce to you. The first one that's going to talk, Chris Draper. Chris owns DTN, Draper Training and Nutrition. Chris is at the top of his field as far as triathlons, as far as training, as far as nutrition. He's a 4-time Ultraman, which is by invitation only in Kona, Hawaii. He has placed in the top 10 every single event in Kona. And so Chris is going to be the next speaker coming up.
When Ross invited me here, he said, what can you do, for the audience? Well, I want to kind of explain potentially what you can do in an off season going into an actual season. So let me kind of introduce, what I'm going to talk about. It's called periodization. Okay, periodization is just a plan. It's a fancy scientific word, for a plan. If somebody was going to come, to me, they're looking to potentially enhance their performance. I'm going to utilize Chris as an example for triathlon. So I'm not looking per se for an injury to fix. Okay, I'm looking to enhance his performance. Okay, so if he presents with something that is a limiter, okay, an imbalance, and that would be done through assessing him on the bike. So we put him on the compu trainer, and we see that he's pushing 60% with the right side, 40% with the left. Okay. Then we can potentially, do some diagnostics, stuff where somebody's, coming in with, we can look at, balance. We can look at the strength of the right, versus the left. We can put, objective, metrics, to how much, range of motion, how much, strength his right and his left will have, as well as, visual, if there's atrophy in an area. So there might be, some size difference there. There might be some, catabolism of an area there, or hypertrophy in another. So we would look at, areas and things that potentially, quote unquote, didn't, look right, while I was trying to just measure heart rate, looking at, measuring, power.
The second speaker will be Tom Bartolino, and Tom owns Hopewell Physical Therapy. Tom, University of Penn grad, Emory grad also.
I do an assessment. I look at movement. I look at strength. I do a screen and see can they squat all the way? Can they raise their arms up all the way? Can they turn their head all the way? Can they bend over and touch their toes? When they lie on their side, can they abduct their leg 20 times? I have people who are cyclists, who are avid fitness people, and I put them on their side because they say they have hip pain, and I'm sort of keyed into that area, and they can't abduct their leg more than 5 times before they get tired. Well, there's something wrong in that hip.
Those of us who cycle a lot, I have issues with flexibility.
Right.
Muscle imbalance.
Sure. Yeah.
There's no question about it.
One race you're really trying to beat for?
That's a good question. That's in this case here, I was just building up to Eagle Man. I get people that want to do Eagle Man in June, and then they want to do I got a lot of people that want to do Ironman Louisville. They're killing me with this because they move Ironman Louisville to October.
Building strength in the off season and going to bigger gears.
Mm-hmm.
Are you keeping your cadence up too?